Mark Skaar on the Skaar Kaard and 103.7 The Fox. Proud to welcome in from Kansas, vocalist Ronnie Platt. Ronnie, welcome.
Mark Skaar, how you doing? It is a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you very much. Kansas is releasing a new record. I call them records because I'm old. It's called The Absence of Presence. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. We are extremely proud of this record. Can't wait for everyone to hear it.
We've played 3 tracks so far on our show, and I thought we'd talk about those in a little while. But first of all, of course, this is the follow-up via Inside Out music from the Prelude Implicit, which was your debut for Kansas. How are things for you coming in this time versus last?
This time, I think we were a well-oiled machine, whereas the Prelude Implicit, I was still new to the band. I never expected, when I got the job in the band, of course I'm excited about, singing all these incredible songs and what a library of songs to choose from with Kansas, so many great albums. It would be impossible for me to make a set list, but it was something I never expected. So it was new to me, and then of course, the level of intensity was a little nerve-wracking. So having a few years, under my belt with the band, and approaching this album. It just seemed like everyone was a well-oiled machine at that point, and probably the biggest difference between the 2 albums was Prelude Implicit. We recorded in January when we were off. We weren't touring, and the Absence of Presence, although we wanted to take off, the demand for the band was just too high. So we did end up doing quite a few dates while we were recording. So it was, do a show, go to Atlanta, get some recording done, go back out on the road, and, back to Atlanta, more recording. And it was really intense. But even with the intensity and the rough schedule, boy, the product just, we're really happy with the final product.
So even though maybe the focus was a little bit of a challenge, in the end, you're obviously proud with what you got because you're releasing it.
Oh, absolutely. And, we know that it's been detained. Our original release date was in June, but now it's July 17th. I'm excited. Even though we're not touring at the moment with what's going on, it's still something to give our fans in this environment, So,
talking with Ronnie Platt from Kansas, let's dissect the songs we've heard. I'm going to just throw some songs out, and you can talk to me about them. So let's talk about Throwing Mountains.
You throw them, I'll catch them.
Beautiful. Throwing Mountains.
Throwing Mountains, first song released from the album, took everyone by storm. What a heavy tune, right? A lot of people I know were calling it progressive metal because it's such a heavy song, but just great music. You're going to hear me say Zach Risby over and over and over again because the guy's nothing short of a genius in many hallways. Outside of being an incredible guitar player, just an amazing writer, amazing producer, and whatever got into him on this song, it was it was the right inspiration because just really a heavy tune. And when I heard the first initial tracks, I knew right out of the box, we got to play this one live. This tune is just too rockin', too in your face, too much high energy. Even though there's a lot of dynamics in the song, it really was the perfect pick for the first the first teaser to give our fans. So what a great song.
Memories Down the Line.
Memories Down the Line. Tearjerker. Pass the Kleenex, please. And it shows the diversity of the music, and which has been a recipe for Kansas throughout the years. Just showing the diverse musical styles. You have a song like Throwing Mountains, which is very progressive, very in-your-face, heavy rock. Then you've got this Memories Down the Line, which is such a heartfelt ballad-type song. And it shows diversity with our writing.
And we're talking with Ronnie Platt from Kansas, and one final track, Jets Overhead.
I kid that after we recorded Jets Overhead, we had to put David Ragsdale's violin out with a fire extinguisher. Just smoking violin, smoking guitar. What a great song! But lyrically written by Tom Brislin, the boy with the golden resume and golden lyrics, and the storyline behind this, when he told me, was just absolutely hysterical. He goes, the song's really about like this alien force that comes down and is going to just end the human race, and they confront this guy who's trying to convince them that, hey, the world is not that bad. And that's kind of the premise of the song. It's kind of an interesting premise, but I hope I didn't give out too much there. But really a fun song, great song, and the video along with that is just really interesting.
And Ronnie, in case people don't know, everybody in Kansas contributes to everything that goes on.
Everyone does. When we get into the studio, by the time everybody grabs what they're doing, it really takes on the flavor of Kansas. Everyone has an influence in the music, from, of course, you've got Phil beating the heck out of the drums, as he has been for a half a century. Wrap your mind around that. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Rich doing the same with guitar, which, they are the foundation of Kansas. But, everyone else just adds their particular flavor into the songs. And it still comes out distinctly Kansas.
With Ronnie Platt from Kansas, out of the songs that we haven't talked about, Ronnie, what can we say in a nutshell to let people know what they can expect?
Just going to expect what you've always expected from Kansas. Superb musicianship, incredible writing, progressive writing, along with dynamics in the music, as far as being progressive and ballads, such a good variety of flavor on this album. It's really great, from the music and the vocals, real intense, layered vocals. We sang harmonies over and over again and layered them, and then layered them some more, and just again to mention Zach Risby, who produced the album, just did a phenomenal job. And we really we have an expectation by our Kansas fan base that is very high. They expect a level of quality from Kansas, and we really feel that we gave them that quality with this album.
Talking with Ronnie Platt, vocalist from Kansas, and you alluded to earlier that you've just been so busy in a live setting up until the elephant in the room, which we know right now is the coronavirus pandemic. But that being said, that must be a pleasant surprise for a band that's been a going concern for over 4 decades, that you are still getting that much work and people still want to see the band live.
It really is an amazing thing. Just in the time that I've been in the band, and I just celebrated my 6-year anniversary with the band. I can't believe it's been 6 years already. But in the time that I've been in the band, I've seen our audiences grow. our audiences get younger, and that's not because we're getting older. Of course we ate. Mm-hmm. But, seeing, original Kansas fans bring their kids, and as tough as it is to say this, their grandkids, mm-hmm. Which restores our faith in the youth of America, to see, very young souls have an appreciation for this music is a great thing. A great thing, and it really shows that this music is timeless.
Ronnie, I like to ask all my guests this: what have you been up to since March?
It has really been so strange to when I joined the band, everything in my life stopped. It's suddenly Kansas, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And, it's funny how quickly I acclimated to, touring and just being on that intense schedule. And then to have everything stop and not be on the road, it's funny how how every day is still really busy between, practicing, try to keep your chops up, still play guitar every day, still play piano every day, and work on this music and, work on maybe future stuff, hint, hint, not getting anything out of the bag there. But, it's also been a nice time to catch up on things that really have been neglected for the past 5-6 years. So in some ways it's kind of been a healthy break. Boy, my voice feels fantastic, and but boy, I'm ready to get out playing in front of people again. I really miss it.
I know it's not the same, but obviously you've seen bands doing the virtual concert. Might Kansas do something like that?
You know what? We always say anything is possible. There's been no talk of that yet, and it's really kind of a wait and see atmosphere, and things can change very quickly. So we're kind of in a holding pattern, to tell you the truth. But I can say, everyone's staying sharp on their instruments and keeping the Kansas music in well-rehearsed fashion.
Well, we're looking forward to the Kansas Absence of Presence tour whenever it comes around, and I'm sure we'll see you around. And this is the 16th Kansas studio album. Crazy.
Amazing, isn't it? Big kudos to Phil and Rich, who've been doing this nearly a half a century and still wanting to put out new studio music under that Kansas label is really a testament to them, that they still have that artistic desire. They need that artistic release, and they're the ones that really make it happen.
Ronnie, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck with the Absence of Presence.
Mark, thank you so much. Please, everyone, kansasband.com. Please visit us. And, Mark, we hope to be back out there very soon. You have a great day, and be safe.
Thank you very much. That's Ronnie Platt from Kansas. I'm Mark Skaar on the Skaar Kaard on 103.7 The Fox.